Why does sexual tension sometimes disappear even when the attraction is clearly there? On the surface, it feels like attraction should be enough. If he wants you, if the chemistry is real, if there's already a charge between you, then the tension should naturally keep building. But that's exactly where most women read the moment too simply. Sexual tension doesn't survive on attraction alone. It's built in the space between desire and uncertainty. It's the look that lasts half a second longer. It's the pause before you answer. It's the sense that something could happen, but hasn't happened yet. And if you collapse that space too quickly, you can turn chemistry into comfort before desire has time to grow. There's one mistake in particular that kills tension almost instantly, and we'll get to it at the very end. 1. You explain your feelings too early. Have you ever felt chemistry with a man and then wanted to make sure he knew exactly where you stood? That instinct feels honest. It feels mature. It feels like you're avoiding games. But sexual tension doesn't grow from full emotional disclosure in the first 5 minutes. It grows from signal, restraint, and curiosity. When you explain everything too soon, I like you, I'm nervous, I don't usually do this, I'm really into you, you remove the mystery his nervous system was responding to. Desire feeds on dopamine, anticipation, and incomplete information. This doesn't mean hiding your feelings. It means letting attraction breathe before you narrate it. A man should feel your interest before he hears your full confession. 2. You turn flirting into interviewing. Ever noticed how quickly a good vibe dies when the conversation becomes practical? You ask where he works, where he lives, what he wants, what his last relationship was like, what his intentions are, and suddenly the sexual charge disappears. Those questions may matter later, but too early, they shift his brain from desire into evaluation. Flirting lives in the body. Interviewing lives in the prefrontal cortex. The moment he feels like he's being assessed for a role, he stops feeling like a man in a charged moment with a woman. Keep the conversation alive with play, teasing, eye contact, and small emotional risks. You're not hiring him. You're letting chemistry reveal itself. 3. You laugh off every compliment. Does your body tense up when a man tells you you're beautiful, sexy, or hard to look away from? A lot of women destroy tension here because they don't know how to receive. He says something charged and you instantly deflect it. No, I'm not. Stop. You're just saying that. I look terrible today. That makes him work harder, but not in the attractive way. It pulls him out of desire and into reassurance. Sexual tension needs a woman who can hold the compliment without collapsing under it. Try a slower response. Smile. Let the silence sit. Say, I like hearing that from you. That keeps the charge alive because you've accepted the energy instead of throwing it back. 4. You become too agreeable. Have you ever liked a man so much that you start matching everything he says? His favorite restaurant becomes yours. His opinion becomes yours. His schedule becomes yours. At first, this looks feminine and easygoing, but too much agreement creates emotional flatness. Tension needs difference. It needs a little friction. Not conflict, not rudeness, but a sense that you're not simply melting into him. Attraction psychology is full of push and pull because the nervous system responds to contrast. If he teases you, tease back. If he assumes something about you, challenge him with a smile. If he says, you're trouble, don't rush to prove you're safe. Say, only if you can handle it. 5. You over-text before the date. Ever had amazing texting chemistry, then met in person and felt the spark disappear? That happens because you spent the tension before the real encounter. Long texting threads create artificial intimacy. You tell stories, explain yourself, send selfies, reveal your schedule, and build a relationship in words before his body has experienced you in real life. The problem is that sexual tension is sensory. It depends on voice tone, eye contact, scent, timing, facial expression, and physical proximity. Texting can support tension, but it can't replace it. Keep some things for the date. Let him wonder. Let him anticipate. A little absence gives his imagination room to work. 6. You treat silence like danger. Does silence make you want to fill the air immediately? Many women kill sexual tension because they panic in the pause. A charged silence is not awkward by itself. It becomes awkward when you rush to escape it. Sometimes the most sexually tense moment is when neither of you says anything. You're looking at each other. The energy changes. Your body knows it. His body knows it. Then you start talking about traffic, your friend's birthday, or what you had for lunch. The spell breaks. Silence activates anticipation. It creates a small vacuum. When you can stay relaxed inside that vacuum, you become much harder to read and much harder to forget. 7. You make everything emotionally safe. Have you ever turned a flirtatious moment into a reassuring one? He says something bold, and you soften it. He teases you, and you explain that you're not offended. He hints at desire, and you make it wholesome. Emotional safety matters in dating, but sexual tension requires a little edge. It needs the feeling that both of you are stepping slightly outside the polite script. When you smooth every edge, the interaction becomes pleasant instead of electric. The amygdala responds to novelty, risk, and uncertainty. That's why a charged look can feel more powerful than a sweet paragraph. You don't need to be reckless. You just need to stop cushioning every moment before it can spark. 8. You reveal your whole sexual history. Ever felt tempted to prove you're open, experienced, innocent, wild, careful, or different from other women? Sexual history can be an intimate topic, but when it enters too early, it changes the atmosphere. Instead of tension, there's comparison. Instead of fantasy, there's data. He starts thinking about numbers, X's, stories, timelines, and what it means about him. That pulls energy away from the present. Sexual tension is strongest when the man is experiencing you, not mentally sorting through your past. You don't owe early access to your private history. Protecting mystery isn't dishonesty. It's pacing. The past can be discussed when trust has earned that level of detail. 9. You become his therapist. Does he open up and you immediately become soft, nurturing, and endlessly available? Emotional depth can create attraction, but premature therapy destroys polarity. When a man spends the whole interaction talking about his trauma, his ex, his stress, his insecurities, and you become the soothing container, the sexual charge changes shape. You stop being the woman he desires and become the woman who regulates him. Oxytocin can bond people, but bonding isn't the same as erotic tension. Let him share, but don't become his emotional service provider. A little empathy is attractive. Overfunctioning is not. You're there to connect, not to repair a man you barely know. 10. You rush physical touch. Have you ever touched him quickly because you wanted to show interest? A hand on the arm, constant hugging, leaning in too soon, sitting pressed against him immediately. Touch can build sexual tension, but only when it has timing. If everything is available instantly, nothing feels charged. The body responds to escalation. Skin has nerve endings that register pressure, temperature, and proximity, and the anticipation of touch can be more erotic than the touch itself. Let physical contact arrive in small moments. Brush past him. Hold eye contact after a brief touch. Pull back before it becomes automatic. Tension lives in the almost. 11. You perform sexiness instead of feeling it. Does your flirting ever become a performance? You try to say the right seductive line, wear the right expression, pose the right way, or act like the type of woman you think men want. The problem is that performed sexuality often feels external. A man can sense when you're acting sexy instead of inhabiting your own desire. Real sexual tension comes through microsignals: slower breathing, grounded posture, relaxed facial muscles, steady eye contact, and a voice that doesn't rush. You don't need to become louder or more obvious. You need to become more present in your body. The less you audition for desire, the more desirable you become. 12. You make him too certain. Ever given so much reassurance that he no longer has to lean in? You reply instantly. You confirm everything. You tell him you had an amazing time before he's even wondered. You remove every question from his mind. Certainty feels comforting, but too much certainty kills erotic pursuit. Desire needs a gap, not manipulation, not hot and cold games, just enough space for him to feel his own wanting. Behavioral psychology calls this anticipation reward. When the outcome isn't fully secured, attention increases. Let him feel your warmth without handing him full possession of your attention. A man values the energy he has to stay awake for. 13. You use self-deprecation as a shield. Have you ever made yourself smaller the moment things got flirtatious? He looks at you with desire, and you joke about being a mess. He compliments your body, and you insult it first. He expresses interest, and you warn him that you're difficult, boring, awkward, or too much. This may feel like humility, but it interrupts the erotic frame. Sexual tension requires you to tolerate being wanted. If every charged moment turns into a joke at your own expense, he can't stay in desire without feeling like he has to rescue your confidence. Let yourself be seen. You don't have to be flawless. You do have to stop arguing with attraction when it arrives. 14. You confuse availability with intimacy. Does part of you believe that being constantly accessible will make him feel closer to you? You answer late-night messages, rearrange plans, stay on the phone too long, and give girlfriend-level attention before he's earned boyfriend-level investment. That doesn't deepen sexual tension. It domesticates it too soon. Intimacy has layers. Access is one of them. When access is unlimited from the beginning, The nervous system stops registering you as a rare experience. Scarcity doesn't mean being cold. It means your time, body, attention, and emotional energy have value. A man should feel that being close to you is a privilege, not a default setting. 15. You punish his desire. Ever asked for masculine energy, then judged him when it appears? He looks at you with hunger, gives a bold compliment, or makes the moment sexually charged, and you respond with embarrassment, suspicion, or correction. Consent and respect are non-negotiable. But when a respectful man expresses desire and gets treated like he did something wrong, he learns to flatten himself around you. Testosterone, confidence, and erotic initiative respond to feedback. If you want sexual tension, you need to make space for clean desire. You can set boundaries and still reward the energy. A smile, a pause, or a calm, careful can guide him without shutting him down. 16. You talk yourself out of the moment. Have you ever felt chemistry building and immediately started analyzing it out loud? This is weird. I don't know why I'm nervous. I never do this. This probably isn't a good idea. Sometimes that honesty is charming, but too much commentary pulls both of you out of the body and into the mind. Sexual tension is a somatic experience. It lives in pulse, breath, gaze, posture, and the nervous system's response to proximity. When you narrate every feeling, you drain the mystery from it. You don't need to explain the charge while it's happening. Let him feel it. Let yourself feel it. The moment doesn't need a caption. 17. You make the first kiss too logical. Does the energy ever build? Then you turn the kiss into a discussion? Are you going to kiss me? Can be sexy in the right tone. But when it becomes administrative, the charge drops. A first kiss often depends on rhythm. The pause, the eye contact, the slight lean, the mouth going quiet. These are nonverbal cues, and they matter because they let desire feel mutual before anything happens. If you over-clarify every step, you can make the moment feel like paperwork. Keep consent clear, but keep the energy alive. You can slow down, hold his gaze, and let the question exist in the space between you before either of you answers it. 18. You chase after pulling away. Ever created a little tension, then immediately panicked and chased to fix it? You flirt, pull back, take space, or end the date at the right moment. Then anxiety hits. You send 3 texts, explain your mood, reassure him you like him, and undo the entire effect. Pulling away only builds tension when you can hold your own center afterward. If you retreat and then scramble, it reads as nervousness, not mystery. The attachment system hates uncertainty, but erotic tension needs some of it. Let the space do its job. If the connection is real, he'll move toward you. Don't interrupt his pursuit just because your anxiety got loud. 19. You ignore your own arousal. Have you ever focused so much on whether he wants you that you forgot to notice whether you want him? This is one of the biggest tension killers. You monitor his reactions, his texts, his compliments, his body language, and his interest. Meanwhile, your own desire disappears from the room. Sexual tension is not just being chosen, it's mutual charge. Your body has information: warmth, curiosity, relaxation, tightness, expansion, resistance. When you stay connected to your own arousal, you become less performative and more magnetic. You're no longer asking, "Am I desirable enough?" You're silently asking, "Do I actually desire him?" That shift changes everything. 20. You apologize for wanting him. What's the mistake that kills tension almost instantly? It's apologizing for your desire, saying sorry after flirting, acting embarrassed because you want him, treating your attraction like a problem he has to forgive. Desire doesn't need shame around it. If you want him, let that truth sit in your eyes, your voice, and your body. The most powerful tension isn't when you hide desire. It's when you own just enough of it to make him feel the rest.